प्रार्थनीयं शिवाद्यश्च प्राप्नोत्येव न संशयः। यः सहस्रं ब्रह्मणानामेभिर्नाम सहस्रकैः समर्च्य भोजयेद्भक्त्या पायसापूपषड्रसैः तस्मै प्रीणाति ललिता स्वसाम्राज्यं प्रयच्छति। न तस्य दुर्लभं वस्तु त्रिषु लोकेषु विद्यते। निष्कामः कीर्तयेद्यस्तु नाम साहस्रमुत्तमं ब्रह्मज्ञानमवाप्नोति येन मुच्येत बन्धनात्। धनार्थी धनमाप्नोति यशोर्थी चाप्नुयात् यशः विद्यार्थी चाप्नुयात् विद्यां नाम साहस्रकीर्तनात्। नानेन सदृशं स्तोत्रं भोगमोक्षप्रदं मुने कीर्तनीयमिदं तस्मात् भोगमोक्षार्थिभिर्नरैः। चतुराश्रमनिष्ठैश्च कीर्तनीयमिदं सदा स्वधर्मसमनुष्ठानवैकल्यपरिपूर्तये कलौ पापैकबहुळे धर्मानुष्ठानवर्जिते। नाम संकीर्तनं मुक्त्वा नृणां नान्यत्परायणं लौकिकाद्वचनान्मुख्यं विष्णुनामानुकीर्तनं। विष्णुनामसहस्राच्च शिवनामैकमुत्तमं शिवनामसहस्राच्च देव्या नाम्नैकमुत्तमं। देवी नाम सहस्राणि कोटिशः सन्ति कुम्भजा तेषु मुख्यं दशविधं नाम साहस्रमुच्यते। गंगा भवानी गायत्री काली लक्ष्मी सरस्वती राजराजेश्वरी बाला श्यामला ललिता दश। रहस्यनाम साहस्रमिदं शस्त्रं दशस्वपि तस्मात् संकीर्तयेन्नित्यं कलिदोषनिवृत्तये। मुख्यं श्रीमातृनामेति न जानन्ति विमोहिताः विष्णुनाम परा केचित् शिवनाम परा परे। न कश्चिदपि लोकेषु ललिता नाम तत्परः यैश्चान्यदेवतानाम कीर्तनं जन्मकोटिषु तस्मै न भवति श्रद्धा श्रीदेवी नाम कीर्तने। चरमे जन्मनि यथा श्रीविद्योपासको भवेत् नाम सहस्रपाठश्च तथा चरमजन्मनि यथैव विरला लोके श्रीविद्याचारवेदिनः तथैव विरला लोके नाम साहस्रपाठकाः। मन्त्रराजजपश्चैव चक्रराजार्चनं तथा रहस्यनाम पाठश्च नाल्पस्य तपसः फलम्। अपठान्नाम साहस्रं प्रीणयेद्यो महेश्वरी न चक्षुषा विना रूपं पश्येदेव विमूढधीः। रहस्यनाम साहस्रं त्यक्त्वा यसिद्धिकामुकः स भोजनं विना नूनं क्षुन्निवृत्तिमभीप्सति। यो भक्तो ललिता दिव्या सः नित्यं कीर्तयेदिदं नान्यथा प्रीतै।
With him who, with devotion, entertains, repeating this sahasranamam, 1,000 brahmanas, with food consisting of payasa, apupa, and 6 kinds of rasas. With such, a person lalitha is pleased and gives him salvation, samrajya. Brahmanas, possessed with knowledge and wisdom, and not others. 6 kinds of rasas are all described in the Bhojana Kutuhala and in the Suda Shastras. Samrajya, complete non-difference, that is Kaivalya. This is the opinion given out according to the followers of the Upanishads, who declare, except the power of creation, one gets dominion over all other matters. In reality, the word Swarajya expresses conventionally, especially the rulership over the universe. The text here expresses the gift of that only, lest there should be the fallacy of abandoning the literal meaning and getting the meaning that does not belong to the text. So it is only fit to say that the deserving result of the blessings of the 1,000 wise Brahmanas is above the result of the previous one. One should not be afraid of this theory that there would be a conflict of actions of different devotees who perform this prayoga simultaneously and who want to exert the strength of their actions on the universe independently, opposed to that of those whose minds work on different lines. To avoid this, the author of Vedanta Sutras describes in that Kaivalya state one gets dominion over everything except on actions of creation, etc., of the universe. Answer. They, the Vedantins, themselves do admit the actions, etc., of the Lord Himself depend on the actions of the beings to be created. Else, there would be partiality and non compassion on the part of the Creator, which would be hard to avoid. Hence, the Vedanta Sutras say there is no partiality or non compassion, for his actions depend on the actions of the beings to be created, as the Shruti says so. Therefore, there is no conflict of actions of many devotees which follow harmoniously in one channel, according to karma of the created beings, nor is there a loss of their independence, as they confine their actions according to each other's wish. Hence, there is a description in the Valmiki Ramayana in the story of Kuda, Kundadanta of 8 brothers in the rulership without break of this undivided earth, consisting of 7 dvipas, simultaneously owing to the boon of the mother. The Shruti says, concerning Swarajya, he obtains Swarajya. All gods offer oblations to him. To them, there is free accessibility to all the words. He becomes Lord of speech, Lord of eyesight, Lord of hearing, Lord over wisdom, etc. The Shaunaka Shakha of the Atharva Veda says plainly that the devotees take part in the creations, etc., of the universe. He becomes the creator of all the universes and the protector, and he becomes the universal one. Question. If so, is he a separate entity from the Lord or no? Reply. In the doctrine of Vedanta, there is a difference between the Lord and the freed souls. One is the creator, etc., and the other has the dominion over all except that of the creation, etc. In our doctrine, Devi, the difference is one, the devotee, has mind, and other, Devi, is without it. The conclusion is the devotees of Devi has the power of creation, preservation, and destruction, etc. Therefore, the commentator of the Shiva Sutra says, thus the energy of his own bliss, characterized by independence, freely becomes indeed the cause of the created beings. 1,000 Brahmanas with food. The following is the prayoga. First practice the pranayama, then repeat the place, time. Next recite the sankalpa saying, to please the Mahatripura, Sundari, I will entertain 1,000 Brahmanas in a certain number of days with 1,000 secret names preceded with the Nityabali, then Punya Havidi, then 16 Brahmanas are to be selected. As soon as they arrive, offer water to wash their feet. Then they should take scented oil bath in hot water. Then they should sit in their respective seats. Each Brahmana should be worshipped with the name of each Nitya deity, beginning with Kameshwari, ending with Tripura Sundari, invoking each Nitya deity through each Brahmana with 16 kinds of upacharas according to one's own ability. For illustration, Shreem Shreem Kameshwariyai Namaha. I invoke the Kameshwari, first Nitya deity, to be present in the Brahmana. Establish her in him, worship her, offer water to her, tarpana. Thus, the dry rice should be placed on the head of the Brahmana. The same ceremony should be observed with the second Brahmana, second Nitya deity, Bhagamalini, so on to the 16th. They all should sit either eastern or northern faced. Next, offer them seat, etc. Then offer them clothes, jewels, sandals, flowers, scent, light, etc. Then feed them with food consisting of sweetmeats, milk pudding, fruits, and other rich things. Last, offer them betel leaves, money, and take farewell of them with prostration. The oil bath is necessary, thus, the Nitya Bali. In this way, 1,000 Brahmanas should be fed from the second day forward. The mantra should be recited as Hrim Shrim Shrimatre Namaha. I invoke the presence of Shri Mata in this Brahmana. Next, seat him, etc., and oil bath, etc., should be offered to the Brahmanas according to one's own ability. The first part of the sahasranama should be recited at the beginning of the puja and the concluding part at the end. If one is unable to secure 1,000 Brahmanas at a time, the ceremony may be extended to some days more till the 1,000 are fed. Till the finishing days, the devotee should observe vows. In the Trishati, feeding observances, each day 20 Brahmanas should be worshipped with food from the first day of the bright fortnight to full moon day. As there are 20 names, if a person chants the supreme hymn without hoping for any specific and selfish result, there is nothing in all the three worlds which is unattainable by him. He gains Brahmajnana, by which he will be freed from all misery. He that longs for wealth will get wealth. He that courts fame will get fame. Brahmajnana, the knowledge which removes the confusion or the difference between the Jiva and Brahman, arising from the Mahavakyas, the transcendental phases, and aiming at the Atman, self alone, in the shape of the last mental modification, and which is in the form of experience. Freed, he will be freed from the bondage of I-ness and mine, which has come to him without beginning as a net to entangle. He that is anxious of learning knowledge becomes learnt by chanting the Sahasranaman. O Muni, there is no other hymn equal to this merit, which confers both worldly attainments and salvation at the same time. Learning of the Vedas and Shastras, etc., with unlimited knowledge and not of Sri Vidya, because the instruction of Sri Vidya should be got from a guru, and if one performs these prayogas without it, not only he will not secure the desired objects, but he will get into troubles also. This should therefore be repeated by persons desiring both of worldly enjoyment and salvation. Also by those who are in any of the four ashramas. In the four ashramas, in order to fulfill their daily karma, which in their performances generally become more or less defective. This repetition becomes as an expiatory discipline to all such actions observed by the four ashramans. The 39th Paribhasa verse of the remaining 20 verses, 13 and a half verses give out that the recitation is necessary. 5 and a half verses conclude the book. The last one is of Sutta. Of Sutta. This indicates, except the last verse, all other are of Hayagriva. To make up for the imperfect performance of Dharma in this Kali age, which is noted for prevalence of sin and delinquency on the part of people in doing their duty, there is no protective mantra except the repetition of the Sahasranam. The repetition of Vishnu's names is preferable to ordinary talk. To ordinary talk, the Vishnu Bhagavata Purana says, when conventionally or in joking or without meaning or in contempt, if one repeats the name of Vishnu, they say it removes all sins. The same is repeated in the Shiva Rahasya, Devi Bhagavata Purana, etc., concerning the names of Shiva, Devi, etc. To 1,000 names of Vishnu, a single name of Shiva is preferred. To 1,000 names of Shiva, one single name of Devi is preferred. There is a description about the different aspects of Vishnu and of Shiva and their gradations, which ends thus. The heart of Brahma is Vishnu, of Vishnu is said to be of Shiva. The heart of Shiva is Sandhya, Devi. Therefore, she should be worshipped by twice born ones. These gradations are supported by the Kurma, Padma, Skanda, Devi, Kalika, Brahmanda, and Markandeya and other Puranas. There are crores of sets of thousands of names to Devi, O pot born one. Of these, 10 sets of thousands are the best. 10 sets. These 10 sets are those of Ganga, Bhavani, Gayatri, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Rajarajeshwari, Bala, Shamala, and Lalitha, indicated by the letters of Gam, Ga, Sya, La, Ka, Ba, La, Ra, Sa, and Bha, irrespectively. And of those 10 sets of names, each of 1,000, this holy one is the best. Therefore, it should be repeated daily to ward off the sins of the Kali age. The ignorant do not recognize this hymn of Devi as the best. Some devote themselves to the names of Vishnu and others to those of Shiva. Rarely one in this world is devoted to the names of Lalitha. It is by repeating the names of other deities in crores of births that faith is generated to repeat the names of Sri Devi. Just as it is in the last of all his births that a person devotes himself to Sri Vidya, so it is that the repetition of the sahasranamam is taken up by him whose present birth is the last or who is to have no more births, devotes himself, etc. Identification of Guru, deity, mantra, and himself as one. This instruction is to be obtained from a Guru alone and not from books. The Guru is he who instructs the student with full initiation, Purna Abhisheka, and he is to be called Paduka, literally sandal. As there are only a few who know the method of Sri Chakra worship, even so there are only a few who chant the Sahasranaman. The practice of Sri Vidya, the worship of Sri Chakra, and the repetition of this holy Sahasranaman are not attainable by a slight penance. He that wishes to please the great Ishwari without chanting the Sahasranaman is like one who is confounded and wants to see objects without eyes. He who aims at attaining siddhis except by the means of Sahasranaman is indeed like the one who tries to satisfy hunger without taking food. The devotee of the Lalitha should always repeat this, and in no other way can Devi be pleased, even for crores of years to come. Therefore, should one chant the secret Sahasranaman of the Holy Mother with devotion.